Am I filming this intro in a van the day before I even record the actual video? Yes, I am. Today we're going to be talking about what is high school really like. Is it like High School Musical where people break out dancing and singing? Or is it more like Ned's declassified school survival guide? Who knows? So yeah, we're going to talk about that. I want to tell you guys what high school is really like. Experiences may differ, so don't hold me accountable for what I say in this video. Your experience could be different from mine, but this is just what I had, my general experience. Throwing that horrible introduction aside, let's just go ahead and cue the intro, which is just a blue screen that says my name with the golf it sound, but let's just go ahead and run it anyways. Today we're going to be talking about what is high school really like. Are you going to be dancing out of nowhere? Are you going to be standing in the hallways all day? Who knows? I figured the easiest way to talk about this would be in 3 parts: social life, school work, teachers, classes, and all that. First, let's talk about social life. For those of you going into high school right now, you're probably not going to finish high school with the same friends that you had in middle school, only because of different class changes. I know in middle school you had the same classes all year round. In high school you have a set of classes first semester and then a set of classes second semester. For me personally, I moved, so I never ended up hanging out with all my middle school friends. Even with my friends that I met in freshman year, I never ended up actually becoming friends with them all the way through high school. Senior year, I'm not friends with the same people that I was freshman year. There will be those outliers where you're still friends with people in middle school. Those are going to be people that are your ride or dies. You've known them for so long. Really, with social life, I would recommend meeting new people because you're probably not going to be friends with everybody forever. Another thing with social life, it's going to be way too hard to meet people during lunch, so I would recommend meeting people during class, because during lunch everybody has their own friends. Unless there's people that you already know sort of and you want to hang out with them during lunch, you can do that. During lunch is really when you hang out with your friends and not meeting new people. Meeting new people will come in clubs and activities during class itself. I'm going to get into activities more. Now let's go right on to schoolwork. With schoolwork, the classes that you choose determine how stressed you'll be throughout the year. With schoolwork, if you take harder classes, of course you're going to be more stressed. If you take easier classes, you'll be less stressed. You'll still be stressed regardless because of so many classes that you take. Some days you'll have more work than other days, but really, even if you take easy classes, you can still be as stressed as someone who takes all AP classes. It depends on how much schoolwork you have. You won't really get as much homework, and if you do, it'll be like simple pages you have to complete. So I wouldn't really worry too much about that. I'd only worry if you don't do your work. All that work's gonna pile up, and that's when the stress really kicks in. I recommend doing the work right away so you don't have to stress after in the later periods of the marking period where you're trying to get your grades up and you're really rushing to get all this work in. Yeah, with schoolwork, finish it right away. Don't hold out on doing your work, or else you'll really pay for it towards the end of the quarters and the end of semesters, and eventually at the end of the year too. Teachers and classes. With teachers, really this depends on what school you go to, because teachers won't be the same for every school. At my school, all the teachers are nice except for the select few. If your teachers are mean, don't try and argue with them. They'll just make your life miserable. Just work and get out of the class. If your teachers are nice, that's when you can start talking to them more. But with teachers, you either get lucky or you don't. You either get a nice teacher or you get a mean one. Middle school, I know they said the teachers are this mean group of people who won't come out to help you if you're missing anything. That is not true. Teachers will reach out if you're missing something, and I would utilize teachers for help in getting your grades up. Even for help in general, before tests, go to your teacher and ask them for help with certain parts that you don't know, and they will help you. They are here to help you. It's probably what got me through high school, was using my teachers for help on work, on tests. If you ask them for help, and they'll gladly answer your questions, but really depends on if you're ready to use them to get a good grade or ready to help you for a good grade. If you spend all your time on a phone and then you go in and ask for help, they won't help you because you were using your phone, and they'll think, oh, you don't care about my class, so I'm not going to help you. Just really don't use your phone. Stay on your teacher's good side, and they will help you with work. Looking at classwork, for me personally, I chose to go easy at the start and then build harder. People go hard and then go easy at the end. But if you're a freshman, I recommend taking like 1 or 2 AP classes, slowly building up the amount of AP classes that you take until junior year, where you're taking a high amount of AP classes so that you can relax your senior year. Your electives towards the end, you don't have to have that many elective credits. Classes, I recommend taking your core classes right away so you don't have to deal with it at the end. Nobody likes math, reading, or science, but the reality is you have to take those core classes every single year no matter what. unless you double up on your classes in your junior year, freshman year, or sophomore year. Another thing that I was talking about with like schoolwork, your classes that you choose will determine how hard your schoolwork will be. So if you take all AP classes, you're going to be pushing yourself, which is why I recommend starting off easy and easing your way up to harder classes so that you won't be as stressed and you'll know after freshman year, okay, this is how it's going to be. You'll build up a tolerance for study and you'll get study habits. So that's what I recommend for schoolwork. Clubs and activities are like the #1 place to go if you want to meet new friends, only because you meet people with the same interests as you. I played a bunch of sports such as football and track. I said a bunch, but it was only 2. And I met the majority of my friends through the football team and through the track team. We had a Rubik's Club. There's so many groups that you guys can check out, which is why I really recommend doing anything. Clubs, activities, sports. If you really want to meet new friends, clubs, activities, and all that, that is the place to go, because that is the #1 place you'll meet new people who have the same interests as you, apart from school where you're taking elective classes and stuff. That's kind of all I have on activities, clubs, and groups. If you're scared at first, if you take it and you go routinely, then you'll have no problem going each day, and you'll really meet people and you'll really want to go each day, which is what happened to me. I didn't want to play football. I only played because my friend told me to join, and eventually I fell in love. I ended up playing both my sophomore and junior year. I was going to play this year, but coronavirus and all that ruined that. If you get the chance, sign up for any club sports that you feel you'd be interested in, and I guarantee you'll meet somebody that you'll become friends with. Long story short, high school isn't that bad. You'll be just fine, trust me. Obviously, you're not going to break out in dances and all that. It's not like the TV show. It's really quite the opposite. It's more chill. There's more parts that are worse than others. Don't stress it. I know you'll be good in high school. If you already are in high school, leave the comments down below for any tips that you've learned about high school, just so we can help those incoming freshmen out. That's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time.